Good morning, panel of judges. First question. Please tell us about yourself. What are your interests and hobbies? Alright, first and foremost, my name is Cameron Buchanan and I'm a current employee at the Montego Bay Community College. My hobbies include that of researching, editing, and reading, where my primary purpose of work really is. I am a teacher of communication studies and English language. I am one who is deemed as being charismatic, also consider herself as a leader, and also one who pays great attention to detail, one who is timely with deadlines, and one who is punctual. Second question is, are you involved in extracurricular activities that you could coach or supervise? Indeed, I am a part of the Montego Bay Community College Press Club, in which I inaugurated here at this institution. This club involves approximately 15 executive members, and the rationale for this club is to pretend as if we are underdogs at this institution, where our journalistic skills are of course shown, and of course having those articles published in the newspaper bi-weekly. The third question is, why did you decide to become a teacher for the subjects for which you are applying? I decided to become a teacher after I did my degree. My degree ever since in high school was to become a journalist or to become a news reporter or an editor. Now, becoming a teacher has given me the drive, or the impetus that gave me the drive in and of itself to become a teacher, is because I was always a very good student in the English language or the English literature class, where I received top grades. And because I shared a good rapport with my teacher as well, she also motivated me to at least become a teacher of the English language and literature, because she found out that I actually had that skill, I had that ability to impart knowledge on students. The fourth question is, are you currently employed as a teacher? Yes, I am currently employed as a teacher. How many hours per week do you teach, and how many days per week? Now, I teach 6 to 7 hours per week, 5 days a week. Describe your teaching experience and what subjects have you taught and at what grade level. Teaching experience for me has been an awe-inspiring one. I am thrilled, I am excited to know that I can impart knowledge to persons who will become future lawyers, future doctors, future presidents, future prime ministers. And as a result of those characteristics, I try as best as possible to give of myself fully, wholeheartedly, and also to ensure that these students are benefiting from my teaching strategies. What subjects have you taught? Well, I have taught communication studies, English language, English literature, academic writing 1, academic writing 2, business communication, communications 1. Those are the subjects that I have taught. At what grade level? From grade 7 to 13, and of course at the adult level. Describe other work experiences you have had besides teaching. I worked, and this was my very first summer job, I worked at the Air Jamaica Reservations Department, where of course interaction, or the mode of interaction, was via phone, of course, to customers. That experience has taught me to be more personable. That experience has also taught me that customers are really important to the benefit of businesses. And of course, that knowledge I imparted in the classroom as well. The 8th question is, have you worked in the United States? If so, when, where, and why? No, I have never worked in the United States. What do you hope to be doing professionally 5 years from now? In the next 5 years, I should attain should be concluding the PhD program, either in leadership or curriculum instruction. Those two are my passion, and hopefully within 5 years I'll be able to get that degree. Also, I hope to start an institution of my own. I believe that I have the requirements, I have of course the abilities, the skills to own my school as well. If I were to talk to several of your colleagues, this is question 10, if I were to talk to several of your colleagues, how would they describe your personality? Truthfully, my colleagues will tell you that I am, of course, a personable, charismatic, fun, active person. Those are the qualities of Kemaline Buchanan. Question 10, what would your students say about you? My students would say that I'm very passionate about learning, passionate about teaching. Also, they will tell you that I am very strict, very stern in terms of getting and submitting assignments on time, just because of my passion in this subject or these subjects. The other question is, how do you prepare to teach your lessons? Now, I believe in the communicative language teaching approach. I believe that the classroom is not all about the teacher, but also about the role of students. With that said, I definitely will incorporate the use of technology, integrated technology, the use of smart boards, the use of PowerPoint presentations. Those indeed will assist and also enhance the teaching learning process. The other question is, what would your lesson plans include? Of course, my lesson plans will definitely include the objectives, because the objectives are important. Indeed, the objectives will give or allow the teacher and the students to understand if whatever was set out to be taught in that lesson was definitely executed. So apart from objectives, of course, I will focus on content, which is very important. And in order for me to understand or to have knowledge that students have garnered information from the lectures or from the tutorials, then of course I will give them culminating activities. The other question is, think about a class that you have taught recently. Talk about 2 of the teaching strategies or methods that you used. The 2 strategies that I have used are 1, case method, and 2, integrating technology. And I will begin with case method. Case method really is allowing students to tap into real life experiences. In fact, that is what teaching is about, applying content to real life experiences. So I remember, for example, teaching my lectures, in which I normally use, when I give a concept, of course, I have to give an example of a real life experience, one that they can connect to. So the case method is definitely one. The other one, integration technology, is also another one, because technology does play an important factor in the teaching learning process. Technology indeed is the greatest tool or asset that should be incorporated in the classroom. We're living in the 21st century, and students do not appreciate when the teacher comes in with the chalk and the talk method. They want to be a part of technology, and that is the reason technology is very important. The other question is, what methods do you use to grade or evaluate your students' progress? Well, we use the formative and the summative assessments. We use unit tests. We also use December exams or semester exams, as well as end-of-year exams. And of course, assignments are also given to students. All right, the other question is, if you use technology in your teaching, describe how you would use it. Well, technology, as I said before, and as I have been making a lot of reference to, is indeed important to the teaching learning process. With the use of technology, I would ensure that I distribute assignments, especially if students are available to tablets and other devices. I would allow them, for example, in a group, to ensure that they use the tablets to solve the problem. I would also assess their creativity by allowing students to make video clips or short video clips or anything that is related to technology, just to impose how technology really is suitable for their own development and also in their own creativity. The other question is, if you have students who are noisy or non-attentive, share with us 2 ways you get them to be quiet and concentrate. All right, I believe that in order for me to quell or in order for me to curb this problem of noisiness or inattentiveness, then I would ensure that I present myself as early as possible for the class, especially if I know that it is a noisy class. Because once the presence is there and once the presence is felt by the students, then of course they will acclimatize to the situation. Another thing that I would do also is to play a game. And playing games with students will also get them to interact meaningfully. So for example, instead of playing Simon Says, I would tweak that game by using Teacher Says. And of course I would give a statement and they have to complete the statement. So that is also another one. Also exercising techniques, having them stand, lifting their hands, sitting down, getting back up again. You know, those are some interesting exercises that I could also use to quell the problem of noisiness. Alright, for 19, question 19, describe the most difficult problem you have had to deal with as a teacher and how did you solve this problem? The problem or the most difficult problem of a teacher is that we can't promote nepotism, we can't promote favoritism. So if there is a conflict in the classroom, for example, between two students, then I have to ensure that I do not give the verdict that will give information that I'm in favor of one and not of the other. So that was one of the hardest decisions that I had to make. So what I did was to have, of course, the guidance counselor, be intervened in this situation, and then of course you will have come to the consensus of what the verdict should be. But also I promote camaraderie, I promote students being cordial with each other, because I also tell them that in this world, we will not get along with people, but life is 10% of what happens to us and 90% of how we react. So students will use, of course, that quote to think about whether or not they want to be in conflict or to remain as friends. Question 20, give one example to show that you're a flexible person and that you can make changes to your teaching methods if necessary. Because I depend on technology, in most cases, there are times when technology fails us. And as a result, I have to ensure that I use other methods to make the classroom interesting. So I have to think on the spot, think quickly. How is it that I can engage my students? And this is where creativity comes about. So of course I will use other techniques. And in fact, in my lesson plans, if technology fails, of course there is a supplementary lesson that will of course give details of how it is that I can appeal to these students. Is there anything you would like to add about your qualification that we may not be aware of? No, everything about my qualification is indeed subject to your leaving home. For the first answer, yes, I have spoken to my family about moving to the United States to teach. Is there anything such as a family member that no? Everybody is, of course, giving me the support. And are you aware that your family members may join you here until approximately 4 to 6 weeks after your arrival? Indeed, yes, I am aware. And the final question is, do you understand and accept that FACES is a 3-year program and after 3 years you must return to your home country? Yes, I am aware. And do you agree to this? Absolutely, I agree to this. Thanks for having me, and of course, I am awaiting a favorable response. Take care.